Okay, let's do this. It's Thursday. I'm feeling excited about this project. I don't know why. I mean, I know why. I don't know. I don't know why it dawned on me, or why this week I'm excited. But I'm definitely excited about this project, and I think a lot of it has to do with getting this art in place. It's starting to look like a game. I mean, you can still see I got this capsule over here as a placeholder, but like it's starting to feel like it could be a real game. And there's a ton of work to do. There's a ton of work that needs to get done before this gets released on Steam. Uh, even early access on Steam. We're a long ways away from Steam. But I'm getting excited about it. Like it's starting to look better. So a few things I'm sure folks will ask later, but a few things that getting working. Looks like I didn't quite get my fans working yet. Got this building I just put in there. That was the I'm not sure why those guys are flying around, but this mine, I think it looks pretty good. It could use some work. But that model's in. I added some particle effects on the fans, which I think helps a lot. It could probably be a little bit tighter, a little bit better there. And so we did that last stream, but it's all in there. It's finalized now. Models optimized, whatever. And I think yesterday, maybe last couple days, I've been working on this other model here that's kind of right here in the front with all these boxes on here. And this is a building that's been in here for a while in terms of functionality, but it didn't have a model. It just had that little capsule that you might have seen earlier. This is the storage building, and so this is the backbone of your economy. So this building here really needed to get in there before this game is releasable and really playable at any real level. And what this does is it just provides access to the global resources, the resources that have been collected and stored. So we don't have to shuttle resources between storage units. Once it's in there or in the headquarters, it's just shared. And I did that just to keep things simple, both on my end and on the player's end. I don't know about you guys, but I often find games where you've got to micromanage the movement of things. Not always my favorite. So anyways, that's what's going on there. We've got that in place. I also set it up so that it comes in with an additional shuttle. That is something that I got to figure out how many shuttles we have in there, how they get added, all that kind of stuff. But shuttles are crucial to getting your economy working. So these storage buildings, you'll see once it gets complete here, will come with its own shuttle. So we get one more shuttle running around. Seems pretty reasonable. There we go. And then the visuals here, you can see all those kind of popped into place there. The visuals here are intended to represent the kind of the overall percentage of how full our storage is. And I need to think about how those get updated a little bit. You can see these two are not in sync, but yet they have the same resources. Right now, the cargo boxes only get updated when a shuttle delivers that particular type. And that was just in line with other storage, other buildings to keep things easy. And because I'm just the way I'm doing it, I didn't want to be updating every frame. So I might do a coroutine that updates every, 5 seconds or something, keeps them a little bit more in sync. But anyways, I'm really liking that. I love that it comes with its own shuttle. I think it's a good addition. It's feeling like it could become a real game. And so what I'm working on now, I published this over on the Discord. Let me switch screens here and you guys will be able to see it. What I'm working on now is kind of a list for an alpha release. So you can see there on the bottom right of my screen, these are the things that I've got currently on my list of things that I need to implement before I can release some sort of alpha release. That's not a Steam release. That's not an early access release. That's going to be a release for folks on this channel, folks who want to play the game, folks who want to support the development. And it's going to be at least the alpha release in my mind is just going to be very simple. There's a lot of aspects to this game that aren't built in right here or into this level. Things like leaders and the overall like world map. Those aren't going to be part of it, at least not initially. But what I do want to do is get a sort of a release that has this scene in it. So it can kind of come in every time you start. It's a new generated world. It's a little bit different. And it's just kind of a sandbox to play around with the buildings and such things. So that's kind of the short-term goal as these visuals come together. And that's what I want to work towards today. So on that list there in yellow, those are the things that I want to get done before I feel like I can really advertise at any level, and say, hey, here's an alpha version. Come try it out. So on that list, game name, I've got to get a name. Right now, let's see if I've got it open. Right now, that's the name of the game on itch. Some hex game. That needs to get sorted, but that's something I really need to think about. I'm not too worried about that for itch. It definitely has to be in place before we open up a Steam page. And then for buildings, I need 2 more buildings, I think, to get this basically functional. And that is, I need a shuttle bay, which right now is just, that brings in more shuttles. And right now, I just need the model for it. It's functional, but I need to figure out the model for that. And then the barracks. Once again, I got the barracks mostly functional. It's the most recent building I've added. I've got to get that modeled. So I got 2 buildings to model. I think the shuttle bay will be pretty straightforward. I guess we call that shuttle expansion. Call it a shuttle bay. Here, let's go grab those notes. All right. I don't know if that'll actually update. Oh yeah, it'll update. Cool. Okay. Need to get those. And then something else that needs to get done is the enemy wave progression. Right now, the game is basically unplayable because the enemies spawn. It ramps up too fast. The progression's way too fast. So that needs to get adjusted. Unity Analytics, actually, I've got that in really, really quickly. Need to get a little bit more sophisticated with that. Let's see, I don't know if I have those up anymore. Nope, no, I don't. Got basic analytics that at least tell me how many people are playing the game, all that kind of stuff, which is great. And then UI, which is what I want to work on this stream, is some UI to make it more functional for somebody who might want to try out the kind of the alpha or the pre-alpha build. So the first one there is the options menu. I've got that partially implemented here. It's pretty ugly, but we've got a close and a quit game. I've also got 2 sliders. Let me see if I can make those a little bit bigger. Just zoom in here. The first one is an FSR scaling. So you can turn this down and AMD does its AI magic and renders in a lower resolution. And it looks pretty good over about 60-70%. And so basically it's the same thing as NVIDIA's whatever. Fancy upscaling. Not quite as sophisticated as NVIDIA's, but anyways, that's in there. We've got a kind of a target FPS. I don't know why I have that in there, but I put that in there. It's kind of nice. If you don't want to play at 120 FPS, you can put it down to 60. Keeps your computer a little bit quieter. And then of course a close and a quit button. So that's kind of functional. Definitely, I'd like to put in some sound effect sliders in there and what have you, but we'll get some other bits. And then the next two pieces are more of what I want to work on today. The first one is that alpha start page. So, or I guess not start page, it's a start scene. Right now, let's see if we can go do it. Come on, Unity. Right now, this is kind of what the start scene looks like. And it's probably all broken. I updated Nova, and due to my own mucking around, I kind of broke a few things. But anyways, this is what the start scene is going to look like. I broke all the buttons is what is the problem. This is more of what the start scene is going to look like, but it's got leader selection. It's got a bunch of stuff in there that I don't want to try to push out for that first alpha build. So we got to rebuild some sort of start scene. Something just really simple with some social links and maybe a little disclaimer and a start button. It's going to be pretty simple, but maybe take some time and make it look good today. And then the last thing on my list is this bug report. And this, I think I have it over here, this is just the basic form. So it seemed like Unity was trying their absolute best to kill this project or get rid of it or whatever. But my last game, Grub Gauntlet, I was delightfully surprised that they had a whole user reporting library and system. And it makes it super, super easy. But they made it really hard to find the package. I don't know why. I had to search and search and search, and eventually found an old version of it. And this is what theirs looks like. Theirs looks like this. So I'm just modeling mine after the same thing. This is done with UGUI. And this thing is amazingly easy to implement. It really just works out of the box. You can structure the UI however you want, format it however you want. And this sends in a bug report, and it takes a screenshot. That's what this little image up at the top left here. It takes a screenshot, and it takes grabs all the computer hardware data and sends it to you as a bug report, which is just awesome. And I've got mine. Let's see if I can pull this up. I've got mine set to post here in Discord. It's a private channel, and I even get any sort of crash notifications or any sort of errors that Unity's thrown. I get a notification at least the first time that it's shown. And so if you have a repeating error, you don't get a message every time. It's smarter than that. But for example, here, this one, I was just testing this one. Let's see if I can bring this up. This is a test. So it's just a test. Let's see. I actually haven't opened this up. Let's see what the data looks like. So here's my screenshots. It just took it was just a brand new scene, so it was kind of silly what it would do. And then you can see here all the hardware reporting, and more than that. I get some reports too on like my active scene, the camera name, some basic stuff that's really, really useful. My guess is I can also add to this metadata if I need to. For me, this was super helpful with my last game. Super, super helpful. I don't know why Unity. I don't know why Unity seems to be wanting to kill it. This works great. Anyways, that's what I want to work on today. So, like I said, I'm going to start with that alpha start page. So I might go back to my start scene and just duplicate this. We're going to call this alpha start scene. We're just going to open that up. Why is it being so grumpy about changing scenes? Okay. I'm just starting here because it's nice. It's easy. I actually quite like this background that I've got going on there. And I've got Nova all set up and ready to go. And the way I like to, there were a few more Nova users. I might make a video on this one. The way I've set up Nova, I've just got this empty child, and then I've got an overlay camera. I'm using an overlay camera for Nova. Just keeps it nice and tidy, a little bit more like how UGUI works. And with all the stuff that Nova has added to the tool over the last couple months, it makes it really easy. Thinking mostly of the screen space component and what have you. So there's our start cluster. We might keep that, but our hero selection, we're going to get rid of this. We just don't need it. That's the kind of the main thing we're getting rid of. So I think what I want to do is maybe kind of want to think about the design of this page, right? It's going to be super simple. Let's see, are we rotate it a little bit? No, okay. So what I want to do is think about the design of this page as a whole. And I think maybe this start cluster is a good place to start. I'm going to get rid of settings. It doesn't do anything anyways. Continues gone. And I think that might be all I want to do right there. And I think I want to bring this, I don't know. Let's play around with this. So what I was thinking about doing was potentially building this up as a overall, maybe an overall 3D scene. And it's kind of a nice, easy way to build up a scene rather than trying to do a bunch of photo, or image editing and copying and pasting. So let's do that. I got my world space here, and I'm going to bring down, oh, that's not what I want to do. What I want to do, I want to just kind of, what are we doing? Unity. All right. I'm going to just bring the game view down there as kind of a functional preview. And then what I want to do is bring in some models. Let's just do tower. We're going to bring in a double tower. Okay. And we're going to get rid of, we're going to turn off a bunch of stuff I just don't need. And I'm just going to try to move this in a, oh, nope. Try to move this in a way that kind of makes sense. Maybe I want to put some tiles in there first. Maybe that's what I want to do. We'll grab a bunch of flat tiles. Okay. And these things, let's get rid of, I'm going to unpack these. Get rid of that minimap icon. I'm going to strip all these pieces out that I don't need. Actually, let's make it even simpler than that. Let's grab this and stick this on here. Perfect. And the reason I'm doing that is it's got this button here. I've built this button here, adjust position, which takes the object and rounds it to the nearest hex position and then keeps it there. So that I can do things like grab this, move it over, and then I can push adjust position and it'll snap into place. I'm just thinking about building something a little bit interesting to look at. And I can grab all those, push adjust position, and they'll all snap into place. Let's add a empty object there. That way we can move everything at once. Okay. All right, let's get some forest tiles. I really like the way the forest tiles come out. Gonna look good. Let's see if that'll work. Nope. Let's bring in, we'll do the same thing. We'll bring in this actual tile and we'll strip it down. All right, let's, why are we so high? Oh yeah, my adjust position doesn't snap on the y-axis. Just does the other way around. Okay. Doing something. Something like that. Oh, that didn't go. Where are we? Okay. Why didn't we go to 0? There we go. Let's bring in a little bit of mountain. Do the same thing. Strip that mountain out of there. Unpack that prefab. We'll add on our hex tile. Nope. Wrong button. Let's just do here. Okay, and we're going to stick those mountains, I don't know, like that. Might be a little much. Why is everything out of, why, what? Why does that keep doing that? Weird. Oh, I know what's going, okay, I know what's going on. My parent object was out of whack. There we go. Okay, then let's look for maybe add a, I don't love how the water looks. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. So let's add that in there. And oh, this one's a mess. So we're just gonna get rid of some of this. Yeah, we'll just leave it in there. Like, actually, let's unpack that so we can get rid of the icon as well. I forgot I needed to clean up the water tile. That is way too many objects in there. All right. Starting to look sort of interesting. Starting to look sort of interesting. So now what I need to do is get, so again, I'm keeping this game view in mind down there. I don't want this to be too, I think I've got it too big right now. I don't want it to be too big. I feel like I've really got some, it feels like there's a bunch of distortion on that, but okay. We're just going to keep playing with this until it feels kind of good. Oh, why is that? Oh, that's funny. Oh, I've got my center out of place. All right, let's see what that looks like full screen. I kind of like that. I kind of like it. I'm just going to keep bouncing back and forth between the UI and the scene. So what I want to try, okay, we got that background in there. We got a start cluster, looked good. I want to add in a UI block. Let's go, we're going to go full height. We're going to go black. Let's get the nice alignment here. Nope, I want... go back like that. I saw this, I meant to do a little bit more. I was spying on some other start scenes and I saw a game do something like this with just this like stripe down the middle, nice scene in the background. And I quite liked it. Something like that. We'll readjust that little cluster. Okay, I kind of like that. It separates it out a little bit. And do we have some post-processing going on here? Yes, we do. I'm gonna attach that there just so it's a little bit easier to find. And we are using post-processing. Yeah. That's what it looks like with no post-processing. That's what it looks like with some. I wonder if a little bit of background blur would look, or a little bit of depth of field would look good on the scene. Why is my forest up high again? That's funny. We'll fix that. Okay, I'm kind of liking that as a whole. Whoa. So quiet out in Chatland today. What is going on with all these? Oh, because it's doing it by... Oh, yeah. Howdy, howdy. How you doing? I keep forgetting that my adjust position is based on world position. Yeah, I think the depth of field would look good. I can stop messing around with my overall positioning. Yeah, let's try a little bit of depth of field. Let's see if that... Does that create... Okay, I kind of like that. Okay, I want to move my camera. I want to move my camera a little bit. Move it so it's like that. All right, let's add some depth of field. Let's see what that looks like. To do that, let's make this big again. And then our global volume. I need to, okay, we're gonna clone this one. Let's start scene profile. Okay, there we go. Let's close all these down. And we're gonna add in oh, I already have depth of field. Okay, depth of field. This is definitely not my okay, we've got the front blurry, which is not necessarily what we want. Aperture's down as focal distance. There we go. Up the focal length, drop the focal distance. Oh, I kind of like that. You think the scene's too dark, huh? I think you're probably right. Let's see. Yeah, the scene definitely needs a little more contrast. I'm also not loving this big empty space that I have on top, and I can change that by changing my angle. Let's see if I can. That feels a little bit better. We'll fix those. Well, let's fix that forest here. It's funny that it's. All right, we'll do it in the. Do it in here. Okay, we do something like that. Still empty. Maybe we can expand out there. We'll put some more buildings in too. Okay. It's not a bad start. I think up here we'll put some, so I'm gonna go back to the UI here. I'm just gonna keep bouncing around until I get something that feels okay. So I am going to, we'll call this, yeah, we'll just call it game name. Text block, yeah, that is what I wanted. Some hex game. All right. And okay, we want to make this thing full width, and we're going to go height of like 100. We're going to anchor it to the top and then bring it down a little bit. And we need to do some auto sizing, but we need to go up to like a gigantic scale. Something like that. We'll center it, and then we'll see what we get some. Have I tried bloom a little bit? Yeah, I've got a little bit of bloom going on, but we could probably turn the bloom up a little bit for this one. It should be on. Yeah, there's our bloom. Problem is I've got it, I mean, it's set to white. Bring that down a little bit. I like that. I like that. Okay, let's put some other build. Well, actually, I want to fix that tower. Upper turret. I want this to come closer to the player. There we go. Okay. And let's do, okay, I want to make a few more changes here. I'm going to add in a blue ore tile. So here, once again, I'm going to unpack. I'm going to add this over here. Okay. And we're going to get rid of all that garbage. Blue ore. Okay. I want that somewhere kind of visible. So maybe here. Maybe like that. How's that look? Yeah, a little splash of color back there. I like it. And then we're gonna put in a mine. I'm gonna turn these off, turn that script off so we can leave the cubes in. Indicator lights, we can, maybe I'll just unpack this again. Unpack this, we're gonna get rid of this thing. Oh, that didn't have a, okay, sweet. Okay, we do have a spin on the fans, that looks good. Let's give that thing a little bit of angle. I like that orange can be seen, but I want it at a little bit more of an angle. I was actually thinking about, you know, maybe making this actually making this a game scene. So like shuttles would fly around, but it felt like that would get too complex. Okay. I think the depth of field might be a little strong. Getting that in there like that. I like that. We definitely need to flesh this out. I need to put some more tiles and fill in this corner here, and I think that will feel good. Let's go back to our depth of field. I think we were a little strong there. Man, it is just like, it's just kind of like all or nothing. I just wanted a little blurry. There we go. Maybe that's better. All right, I want to build up this upper left corner. I'm just going to do that with a poop ton of tiles. I'm just going to place a bunch until I can figure out how far I actually need to go, because our angle's really shallow. Oof. But if I put some okay, let's try some mountains back there then. I'll give us some, I could cheat too. I could tilt them up a little bit. That starts to fill out that corner a little bit. Yeah, pretty diminishing returns there. Maybe we can tilt our camera just a tiny bit more. Still looks okay. Add some variety back there. Okay, those last couple of mountain tiles did absolutely nothing. Okay. Bring this back down. So get a little bit of a preview. Okay. First off, let's pop those things in place. grab some more water. Oh, more water got out of. Pop some water in there. Yeah, it's looking good. Not sure if you'll ever see those water. We'll put some water back there too. Okay. All right. All right. It's looking better. I still feel like the depth of field is just really strong. Let's pull that aperture back up a little bit. Okay. Do a little bit of that. Get those all in position. You know, again, this is a maybe I want some green there. What happened to my water? Did I get I must have deleted my water. Again, this is like the intention here is like this is not the final this is not the final this is not the final start scene by any means. But, you know, always want to put kind of your best foot forward. Yeah, I am. I'm working on a start screen, title screen, if you will. Put some water there. And this is really like, this isn't going to be, like I was just saying, like, it's not going to be the final start scene. I mean, who knows? Oh, some fog could look good. Yeah, let's do that. I need to fill this gap in here. Hey there. Thanks for joining. Slowly getting some folks to join today. Always much appreciate that. Okay, let's snap that one. Oops. maybe a green one there. Yeah. Okay. So I kind of like that. I like the general idea, but let's add some fog. Unity's fog probably is good enough for this. Set our directional light there. And fog. Problem is the fog doesn't work on the yeah, the problem is that the fog doesn't work on maybe just a little bit there. That was like none. That's too much. I think that look a little change there. The problem is the fog doesn't work on the lack of skybox. Ooh, I like that. That's interesting. Have the camera kind of do a slow rotation. That could be cool. I was going to build the scene to have this one view, but that's definitely a possibility. Solomon, what do I think about ChatGPT? Somebody asked that the last stream. I think ChatGPT is I think it is a fabulously useful tool. I mean, that's my honest opinion. I think it is a fabulous tool. and tools like that, I think we all need to learn how to use those tools because they're not going to go away. Yeah, you're right. I need something behind the fog. That's what or behind the scene. That's what I was thinking about. If I can do that, let's try that. Let's just try putting in a big plane. What is the closest resemblance to my game? Jeez, I don't know. I'll tell you. I pulled a lot of inspiration from 2 games. So in that sense, I'm sort of answering your question. Okay, there's our fog is working now. I pulled a lot of inspiration from 2 games. One is Creeper World 4. I just kind of stumbled onto it on Steam, loved it. I think that, and so Creeper World 4 and excuse me, and Becastled. Those are the kind of the 2 games that I really I pulled a lot of inspiration for them. They're both you're right, I can't just add a quad. It would be a little bit slightly more performant. Both are made by small teams. I think Becastled's made by a small team out of either Ukraine and Creeper World, I think, is made by a single developer. I was watching. Managed to find it, their YouTube channel a while back, or just a couple of weeks ago. And I'm gonna make this attached to my camera too. So if we do go with the rotating camera, this will rotate with us. Those 2 games, I guess I'm fumbling around here a little bit. Both those games I pulled a lot of inspiration from. I think they're games in a similar strategy genre, but they're not like fast twitch RTS games. And they make some really good decisions to keep the game simple without losing the core of that game or that game genre. So I think they made some really good decisions. Those are the 2 games that are probably, I think, they have some similarity at least. Okay. Fog background. All right, we need a new material for that. Boom, boom, boom. I'm just going to make it the same color as it was. That's kind of interesting looking. And I'm going to take your suggestion of making our fog blue. Make it the same. Okay, we've got that. So that we're kind of back to where we started, but now our fog. Now our fog, I think that's a little too blue. Now our fog impacts the background. There we go. No fog, fog. Cool. Oh, you're from Ukraine. Oh, I remember. I feel like you've been on stream before. Maybe not. Yeah, Becastled. I'm pretty sure Becastled's from Ukraine. They made a few posts over the last year about the bullshit that's happening over there. And so, yeah, they made a few posts. Their development certainly slowed for a while, but I think they're back to it. They're back to it and working on the game, which is great. Hey, Adam. Thanks for joining. We're working here, Adam. I'm working on a start scene for a kind of an alpha build. I'm liking it. Liking it a lot. The UI here needs some work, but this fog, that was a great suggestion. Matching it to that background, I think that looks, I mean, it's not like amazing. It still needs like, I just need to turn the bloom up or something, but like, it's still not quite there. We need some more buildings in here. So I'm going to add in, let's come back to our scenery. Okay, I'm going to add in some more, another tower. I'm going to keep my preview going over here. Okay. That works. Kind of like that. Looks good. All right, we got our mine in there. Let's put in the farm. I think looks pretty okay. I want a building right here in the front. I don't think I want the farm though. Okay, we're going to unpack our farm. Like that, so we can get rid of that one thing. Just make sure we're down on the ground. I might put a couple farms out here. Something like that. Maybe give it a little rotation. Adam, you like the title? Yeah. Well, right now, let's see, where is it? Right now, that's the title on itch. Some hex game. I needed something. Carlos, let's see. What is the most difficult thing you had to learn for developing this project? Whew. It's not an easy question. Where the frick did I put my other farm? I mean, to answer that question super literally, the hardest thing I had to do for this project, if you want to answer it just very literally, would be the hex tile library. Wrapping my head around hex coordinates, the hex library, all that kind of stuff. That was the most difficult thing that I had to learn. That said, I enjoyed learning it. It wasn't that onerous. It probably took me 6 weeks to get that library in place. And functional. That was really the one big piece that I had to learn for this specific project. There you go. Yet another hex game. That's better. I like that. All right, we're going for it. We'll make that change. I mean, if you want a more like big picture answer to that, you know, there you guys go. There you go. The game has been renamed. You've never used the word onerous. My vocabulary is not exactly large. I mean, if you wanted to take a step back, like it wasn't specific for this project, but to be able to get to this point where I can build this project. Whew, I mean, I think the hardest thing is still the game design itself. And I'm not sure that I'm good at it by any means. Right? This might look okay. might look interesting, but the game in itself isn't quite there yet. It's not yet that interesting. Um, and I think so. I think game design itself is probably the hardest thing to learn. Should I put a solar panel right there? Yeah, game design, and then probably more skill based, or not more skill based, more. I don't know if I like that. And then certainly, there's lots and lots of difficult skills. Okay, does that? I feel like I need a headquarters building in there somewhere. Maybe we'll just keep adding buildings until it feels right. Let's see, where I want to put a storage building in there. It's a pretty basic building, so maybe we'll put it there. No, I'll put it here. I don't know if that, Carlos, if that answers your question remotely. But I'm just going to delete some of these cubes that were not quite so full. Looks a little strange. There we go. I might have just deleted some things that I didn't want to. Oh yeah. There we go. Little texture there. I like that. Oh, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the let's get rid of a few of these things here. We're going to get rid of, we'll just turn that off. What if I'll put the shuttle up a little bit? Put the shuttle up, and then we're going to turn on flames. There we go. And I think when we push play, like the blinky lights will come on. Let's see, Adam. Could I do a nuke mid-launch? Oof. It wouldn't be easy to do that. That would look really cool, though. It would look cool. I'm trying to think about how that would be. Put a little more light in there. Trying to think about how that could be done, because it's all particles. Yeah, that would be hard. That would be hard. Maybe a lighter sky. I kind of want the back to fade into, I don't know. I don't know. I think okay. I'm okay with this for now. think there's lots of tweaking to be done. Interestingly, don't have a headquarters building. Let's see if we can. What in the world just happened there? Oh, I just placed it on the back. I see. Does anybody else find themselves working in the orthographic view a lot? I feel like I'm the weird one that works in orthographic. All right. We need to go turn all those. Turn the shuttle thingamajiggers off. And we definitely need to like, let's go turn those. Okay, let's go in here and like, oops, grab the whole shuttle. I think those will all play. Let's just stick that out in the middle. Nope. Grab the whole shuttle. There. Oh, that adds. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, let's grab one more of these guys. We'll have it maybe here. We should actually have there. Oops. Engine should be. What in the world did that just do? Their engine should be like that. Maybe should we have one right here too, like really close? That might look good. All right. How about taking off right from Oh, that added a nice detail. I like that. I might. Oh, yeah, that's good. Let's see what this looks like. When we go into play mode, our blinky light should work and our. Which maybe is weird if we're not actually moving. Is it weird that it's kind of animated like that? But nothing's actually moving. Let's see here. When a sun behind. Teal Prod, what do you mean? Or what do you mean there with sun behind? Like coming from. I actually don't even know where my sun. Well, I guess I can look at the shadows and see where it is. Add another directional light in there. That could be an interesting. Add a little bit of. Oh, that could be cool. Like very colored sunset kind of light could be kind of cool. Yeah, Solomon, in terms of your question about Unreal, I would fully agree with Adam there. it's to it 6 dozen of one, half or 6 of one, half dozen of another. Totally the right view of that. It's just they're especially for like I guess here's my other hot take on this would be that any game that a small team or a solo developer should be building can be built in virtually any engine. Virtually any engine they can be built in. You just as a small team or a solo developer. Oh, I'm doing this in play mode. Um, um, you should be building pretty simple games. You're always picking on my solar panel. Always picking on my solar panel. All right, let's try. I'm feeling pretty okay with the scenery for now. Let's get all the scenery in there. Don't need that thing at all. Okay. All of our scenery's in there. All right, let's try. I'm interested by this. Whoa. Well, that definitely did something. Definitely made it brighter. Maybe we'll turn off the shadows on that light. I'm just kind of curious. Can we... That's not the right color. I like the extra lighting, giving it a little bit more color. I like that. I think unfortunately, I might change the background color here. The in-game scene, I'm kind of using a purple, and I think it looks good. What I don't like right now about the background color is the teal on all the buildings just kind of blends in. I'm not getting any contrast, which I think is what suggestion was. Earlier suggestion was to make a lighter background. Solomon, if you're asking about my experience with Unreal, a few years ago, Unity made one of those PR faux pas where they announced that they were going to immensely increase the cost of Unity. And it took them about a month, maybe 6 weeks to walk back on that. And at that time, I can't remember if I'd published my first game or I think I'd already published my first game. And so I was looking to publish another game. And so there was about a month there that I took a serious look at Unreal because the pricing structure was very different. Unity was just going to price somebody like myself out of the market. Unity is worth a lot of money. The tool itself is worth a lot of money. But I just, I wasn't in a position to be able to afford, $100, $200 a month to be able to access certain features. So I gave Unreal a look, and then Unity kind of changed their plans, and I came back to it. That is the limit of my experience with Unreal. Let's see. You wanted to ask how much time weekly am I spending building the game? That is a great question. It's a great question. It really, really varies. It really, really varies. Right now, my boss basically gave me today and tomorrow off because we're getting ready to go to a big convention next week and software is done and we don't want to touch it. So this week I'm going to get to spend maybe 15 hours, 20 hours on it. Some weeks the only work I get done is the 2 hours that I stream. So yeah, I would say probably on average, probably 7 or 8 hours a week is what I get to spend on this. And this is I started working on the prototypes of this project about 13 or 14 months ago, just for more context there. Realistically, 10 hours a week is the most that I can really devote to this. I've got a full-time job, a part-time job, and right now I'm tutoring a former student, so I'm pretty packed at the moment. All right, let's go grab the purple out of this other scene and see if that looks good. Game scene, that's the one I want. All right, main camera, I want this color right here. We're just gonna grab that color and we're gonna go back. Well, that really didn't change very much, did it? All right, where is that? Oh, it's my, wait. Right. Okay, I am liking that's a little bit purplier. Where's all this background coming from? Oh, okay, okay, so it's my fog color. It's got to be doing a lot of that. Yeah, there's my purple. I love that dark purple with the orange. I think that works really well in my mind. There's some purple fog, but that's definitely too dark. That is definitely too not dark. So let's see if we can maybe just, whoa. Yeah, if I go dark with it basically becomes transparent. Well, that's kind of interesting, actually. One of my problems with this is like I get fudging around with things and then I can't quite decide what I actually like. Kind of like that. I like the contrast there. I feel like the depth of field might be still a little strong. So let's back our aperture off again. Let's try that. That's funny, Adam. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about the engine question. I mean, for me right now, the biggest issue of why I stick with Unity is just because at some point it's I've sunk so much time into it that if I gave myself 6 months to get up to speed with Unreal, I probably could. But then again, I'd have to learn C++. And my understanding is that the C++ that Unreal uses isn't like full-fledged C++. Still holds your hand a little bit. I'm not sure if that's actually true. but I've got so much time sunk into this at this point that it's hard to imagine going somewhere else. Oh, I like that a little bit better. Sorry, Adam, I didn't see your first comment. This is what the AI spit out. The first thing I read of like, yep, that sounds exactly like ChatGPT. I've been trying to get ChatGPT to generate some ideas for me, but I think I need to feed it. I need to feed it a little bit more, a little bit more content, a few more ideas before it'll actually give me anything halfway decent. Try to make those shadows a little longer. Yeah. It is not the most amazing start scene I've ever seen. A little lopsided. I feel like maybe I need some more tiles over here. Why is my gizmo stuck over there? I've never seen that before. Why is my gizmo not moving? Put a mountain right there. Anybody ever seen that before where the transform gizmo doesn't move with the object? That's weird. Yeah, you got to learn to do the better prompts. It's a tough one. I very much think it's something that we all need to do, but I haven't done it yet myself. Really learn how to do it. Yeah, I was messing around with ChatGPT, trying to get it to spit out some purple cow names for me, and it came out with something that made me think about Hextera, which I kind of liked. I looked it up, and apparently it's an NFT and some other garbage. So maybe not so much. Okay, that's not horrible. This is not horrible. What I want to put in now is some more UI in here with some like basic like social stuff so Discord, bug reporting, that kind of thing. So let's do that. I like this black background. It's working for me. Could use some style to it. I could add a border to it. I wonder what a border would look like. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. I like the stripe. The stripes on it look better. So let's just move that down. Yeah. It's not bad. Let's see what you're saying. Select the 6th gizmo option on the left side of the scene view and switch back. On the left. Oh, there we go. Who knows? You spoke the magic words. I don't know what button I pressed, but it did work. Let's get rid of. Sweet. I don't like the way it's doing the blur back there. It looks really not awesome. Maybe I don't need the depth of field. Maybe that's just fine, just as is. I think the fog added enough depth. Drofo, absolutely. It was the right one. I've never seen that before. I mean, clearly must have, I don't know. Or Unity had a little fart or something. Okay. Let's try. Let's add another little background. Actually, I'm just going to duplicate this thing here. We're going to get rid of that. And this thing. I'm going to play around with. Do I want to put it in the top? I don't think I want a border. I don't actually know if I want. I don't think I want border. I don't know if I actually want a background to this, but I do want to do some layout on here. I'm gonna go horizontal like that. And then I'm going to put in a button. And this is going to go, how big do we want this? That's pretty big. 75 by 75. And we're going to get the parent here. We're going to shrink to the parent, the kids like that. And we're going to do some spacing like that. And these guys, we're going to keep these nice and square. Axel's going to be in charge. Okay. They don't look square to me. Am I looking at something funny? It looks square there. It must just because I'm in isometric mode and not quite at there you go. Not quite at the right angle. I think either there or down the bottom left. Still feel like this is, I might need some more tiles down here. Anyways. I'm going to take a quick break here. I'm going to be back in like, oh, I got rid of my waiting zine. I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be back in 3 minutes. All right. It's going to blow a gasket there. All right. All right. These buttons here, these are all going to be buttons up here. Let's see. Let's go icon shopping. Let's see if I can remember where I put my icons. Bum, 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 bum. You would think I'd remember where I put them, but I just don't. I They're not in there. Every time I go looking for them, the Dropbox thing that's dead anyways. Program files. Where did I put them? Oh, too funny. Oh my goodness. Well, this makes for thrilling streaming. Watch a guy with too many hard drives and connections. There we go. Unity assets. All right, let's see. I want to just find some really basic icons for, probably won't be the final icons, but I want to find some icons for just some basic social buttons there. Kind of, let's see if we can populate these and see what we got here. I've really preferred keeping things like icons and sound effect packs outside of my projects. All right, those all look nice, but that's not what I want. Keeping them outside the... oh my gosh, so many folders. I've liked keeping them outside of the project. Keeps the project running smoother, less to sync up and all that kind of stuff. I appreciate the organization at some level, that asset developers put everything in folders so you can kind of see what's going on. But then there's things like this, and I'm like, oh, I just need to find the, I just want to like scan through the buttons. Some of these, I know some of these apps, packs just have like a social icon media. Let's see if there's one in there. Nope. That's not really what we're looking for. All right, let's try a different one. Ba-ba-bum. I could just slap some various buttons on there and we'll be good to go. Or the other place I could look. Let's do this. Let's try. We'll just recycle a little bit here. Let's go look in the last game and see textures, social, Discord. Let's see. I got Discord. I got YouTube. Perfect. Let's see what these look like. Sure. Let's grab those. Those are perfect. Let's do what I was just complaining about and create another folder. Great. Some 3D icons could be cool. Yeah, Nova doesn't. Nova is pretty bare bones when it comes to that kind of content. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any buttons. Whoa, a little distorted. Okay, let's make these white. I have to figure out how to turn off the post-processing so it doesn't impact so it doesn't impact the UI. The Nova's rendered through the same camera, or just a regular scene camera, so the post-processing hits it. I should be able to, which is weird because it's actually getting rendered by this overlay camera. Not entirely sure why that's happening, actually. Hey there, Waterman. Thanks for joining. Let's see what else I got in that in this folder of mine. There's a bug. There's that. I love my art from my last project. All this hand-drawn garbage. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. All right, we're going for it. Boop. I mean, it fits the style, right? It's perfect. All right, what we want to do here is change. Not sliced. Envelope. Nope. Fit. We just want to. I want to maintain the. That's not what I want. All right, Nova, what are you doing to me? I just don't want it to be. Hey, hey, Lance, thanks for joining. Hey, Waterman, what I'm working on today is, it just looks, why does that look so bad? Anyways, what I'm working on is just a simple start scene here. I've been getting excited about, let's see if I like this down on the bottom instead. Yeah, I mean, it's all the wrong, I'd rather just go for like white, black and white buttons there, but these are gonna be placeholders for now. Yeah, kind of working on this really kind of bare bones start scene here, with the idea of working on my list. You can see there on the bottom right of my screen, I've got some yellow writing over the top of Unity. This is my kind of my to-do list for an alpha release, if you will. To have a version that I feel comfortable sharing. Those are the things that I need to get done so that there's something that's playable. It's not hours of entertainment, but that is essentially what we're working on. And one of those things on that list is this start scene. So let's peg this down here to the bottom. Oh, actually, it's this one here. Boom. Do that. Put it right down there. Man, that Twitter one looks horrible. There's no part of me that likes those buttons at all. Let's see here. Let's just adjust that so we can give us a little bit more spacing like that. Lance, yeah, I mean, I think at some level a vertical slice of sorts. So the idea, there's a bunch of aspects to the game that I haven't necessarily talked about a whole lot. The prototypes are in place, but I've really been working on the kind of this one core game scene, the kind of the core game loop, if you will. And so, yeah, I want to ship. I want to have a build that has kind of, not sandbox is the wrong term, but sandbox like, in the sense of it's just kind of be kind of a open playground to come and play with the buildings and find bugs and let if people want to be part of the development, they can give feedback and what have you. So that'll happen, and that's going to happen on Twitch, or not Twitch, Itch. My nose itches. And so I've been building this up very slowly. I feel like we're still just not quite right on our camera angle here. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's a little bit better there. Adjusting some settings on that. Okay, those buttons aren't horrible, but they're placeholders. That works. I want to play with my camera angle a little bit more. I feel like I'm now like offering up this one little tile to you. Here you go. This little point thing pointing at you. Waterman, I don't know what the final price is going to be. You know, right now on Itch, it's set at $10, which that's probably the ballpark what the game's going to be in. I can't. Yeah. Pricing's hard. Pricing's really hard. I feel like I need something there. Is it weird if I have like a forest right in front? Not necessarily. I don't like that. Try some more forest. No, maybe we just leave that one blank. Okay, that addition helps. That forest is not quite in the right position though. Okay, that helped fill it out a little bit. There's still just some general contrast and yeah, Waterman, I was thinking about that too, and that's a possibility to make that work. I could set this up just as an overall scene and have things move for sure. It would definitely bring things to life. And this is a minor issue. One of the reasons I didn't do that was eventually the drones will stop moving. The storage will fill up and all that. It also is just a lot more to load in this scene. Okay, let's do a little bit of playing around here. Let's do some more UI stuff. I'm gonna see if I can not. I was hoping I might be able to grab some of this. Why are we being so weird? Okay. I'm going to grab some of that decoration, for lack of a better term. Does that look weird? Just trying to fill in a little bit. I don't know. I'm going to go back. Oh, let's organize these buttons over here first. Okay. So maybe we're going to do something. Oop. What is my background? Let's make that not selectable. Okay. No, I didn't want to make it all not selectable. Why, Unity, why are you making it this hard? I want to select, yes, that. No, no, you had it right. Those things. No. What is your problem? All right, some of this is Nova being a little too clever with their selection tools. I want to select those things. Yes. Thank you. Now I want to select those things. No, I don't want to select that thing. I want to select these things. Thank you. Now I want to select those things. Nope. Ugh. Whoever asked me what the hardest part of the project was, this is apparently the hardest part of the project. All right. Does that look horrible? Well, it's all off center now. I don't like it as much as I used to be honest. This background, I think, needs to be more transparent. Yeah. What is that? I got a weird triangle there now. Oh, of course, those things moved because. No, I just want to select those things in Unity. I don't want to select the parent. I don't know if I like that little foofy thing up there. Hey, Legion. Thanks for joining again. Welcome back. Look like the worm boss. Yep. Yeah, a little bit. Yep. Yep. I hear you there. All right, let's make the our title a little bit better. Let's make this a little bit. Are I really maxed out? There we go. For the life of me, I can never remember whether padding or margin. Which one's the inside one? Which one's the outside one? I feel like this black background should match these black tiles a little bit better. Hexagons are being a pain. Something about Unity selection is being a pain right now. I don't know what it is. It looks good, but there's still just something missing. Waterman, what do I use to make the icons? These hexagon icons are, oh, I got a little stray one in there. Where did you come from? He needs a home. Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go here. I use Affinity Designer primarily for most of my kind of graphics. I quite like it. I think it works really well. Yeah, Affinity Designer. It's also got a really friendly license compared to say Photoshop. It's a one-time fee, and usually you can get it on sale for like $25 if you're careful. And then you've got it for the entire version life cycle. So, like I bought my license for version 1. I used it for like 2 years. They just moved on to version 2. I bought a new license for that one. So it's really friendly. It's basically buy once and you're good to go, at least for a couple years. Compared to say Photoshop, which I know you can pirate and whatever, you can get it free, but Photoshop charges a monthly fee. So I quite appreciate the different approach. All right, let's see. Loading screen, button, load scene. Okay, let's see if we can. Let's add. Okay, let's just see if this works. We'll just get some basic functionality here with our buttons. Waterman, my day has been actually really, really nice. Oh, you know what I don't have in here? I don't have a... I've had a really nice day, actually. Thanks for asking. I do actually have that in there. Oh my goodness. We're getting ready to get my day job. We're getting ready to go to a big convention next week, and the software is done. So my boss gave us basically gave us the rest of the week off. It's just pretty awesome. So that made for a pretty good day. Oh, of course, this has all got like code stuck on it. Let's see if we can remove some of the stuff off here. It's always nice to end up with a couple of extra days off. I think next week's going to be a pretty busy week. So be nice to go into it reasonably well rested. Okay, yep. Here's my buttons issue. All right, let's fix those. Let's fix those towers too. That was good. I would just take all this out. Okay, and we got to put some button visuals. It's probably my least favorite part of Nova, and I think it's in here for a good reason. This whole item view visuals thing, it feels overly complex to me, if I'm being honest. I know why it's there, and it does bring in a lot of flexibility, but it also, I find that it brings a lot of this pain in the ass. Oops, I forgot to set something. Oops, we lost reference to something. It's not that big of a deal, but it can be a little frustrating. Yeah, good sleep is super crucial. All right, that's looking... I mean, I totally agree that if I could get the shuttles moving. That could look sweet. All right. Okay, sweet. Oh, okay, we need to fix that button. Okay. We still have issues. Oh, that's got to be in this other scene. I updated Nova, and I had made some changes to it before I updated it that totally mucked it up, and I broke all my buttons in my scene. "100% my fault." All right. Oh my gosh, so many components on here. So many dependencies. What does tooltip depend on? Player unit depends on it. I bet I could write a little script to have get the shuttles to fly around. That might actually be really worth it. Because I totally think you're right that it would bring the scene to life. Oh yeah, Adam, yeah, you didn't get to see that. Yeah. The our somewhat phallic mine. I don't think it looks so phallic anymore. But our originally phallic mine, if you guys missed last week's stream, this building right here in the middle is our mine, our ore processor, whatever. Built that on the stream last week. It started off pretty darn phallic looking. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is working. Let's do a quick build here. Let's do a quick build here and make sure this works. Oof, coolant line in your truck blue. Yeah, that's probably a little bit more important than fancy UI tool. Well, speaking of Nova, if you're going to pick up Nova, and right, they are, while we're waiting for this to build, let's go here. This is not a sponsored message. I just noticed this the other day. So if you guys are looking to pick up Nova, the Unity Asset Store has their flash deals, and Nova is going on sale in 6 days. So the way that works, my understanding is the first 8 hours, it's something like 70% off. And then the next 8 hours, it's like 50% off. And the next 8 hours after that's like 30% off. So, certainly worth taking a look at. Certainly worth taking a look at if you want to buy it. 6 days, I don't know what calendar day that actually works out to be. I think you can actually see. Maybe you guys, I think, yeah. Anyways, if you want to buy Nova, it will be on sale in a few days. Well, that's not good. Reading this, I don't know if Schwapo is still here. I'm reading this error spit out by Odin. it so sounds like Tor. All right. Hex game, delayed serialization, player unit. Ugh. Let me try something here. What if I don't build that start scene? Does that get around that issue? Ooh, wave function collapse. That was hot stuff a few months ago. I never watched any videos on it. It looks cool. The results look great. Yeah, I don't know. I've been getting some I got some error on serialized reference, which is an attribute I haven't put in anywhere. I don't know if it's connected. I did do a bunch of mucking around with the project. Did do a bunch of mucking around yesterday trying to update Nova. And again, my own screw up. Looks like we're okay now. So it's got to be something in this current scene that's screwballed. I don't know what version. I'll make sure to get over onto the Odin Discord and drop that in there as a problem. See if you guys can fix it for me. Yeah. Yeah, the wave function collapse. I think that's the way it is with like so much procedural generation. It just needs so much fine tuning and tweaking, which I like. I think other people have said this too, that there's a misconception like procedural generation will make your project easier. Um, I'm not sure it. I'm not sure it does. If I'm honest, it can make your game more replayable, but I'm not sure it makes it easier. It certainly doesn't make generation faster because you got to tweak things. Shop, I'll send you the stack trace, and um, I won't post it in the Discord, but I'll send it to you. Wow, this is taking a long time. This is not the first build. I made a build yesterday. I'm surprised how long this is taking. Hey, Waterman, good luck. Enjoy learning some code. It's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's true. You got the procedural generation. You got to tweak. That was one of the things I was really delightfully surprised with these hex tiles. Um, Generating my landscapes. I'm not saying they're these amazing things and they couldn't be better, but um, man, it's something about the hexagon shape really lent itself to organic shaped land masses. With really very little fine tuning. Um, Playing with percentages of whether it's a grass or a forest or whatever. But other than that, it really came out nice. I played with other procedural generation, and yeah, I just feel like you just fiddle and fiddle and fiddle, and then if you would like let it out into the wild for the player to play with, you know, you've got to be reasonably confident that your settings aren't going to produce something horrible and really crappy, unplayable. Wow, this is taking forever. I bet you with all the changes I made to know, maybe, I don't know. I'm not sure why this is taking quite so long. Yeah, No Man's Sky was definitely pretty wonky. Well, that's the thing is I think people think that random procedural generation is just randomness, and it's really not. And randomness generally doesn't look good. There we go. There's our build. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so it's something in that first scene. Just make sure everything's working. Okay, that all looks good. Oh, I've got it set on really short day-night cycles for testing. Okay, so that's building. So it's something in that in this start scene that's causing that error. Let's see if that stack trace still exists here. Well, that is that is quite the verbose error. Too funny. I'm gonna copy all this. Yeah, Schwapo, absolutely. Yeah. It gives you a good starting place, then you got to tweak it manually for sure. For sure. Yeah. It's just yeah. I think a lot of people put it out there cuz it does make some really cool stuff. Um it does make some really cool stuff, but it takes a lot of effort to get there. Yeah, that error was really something. I got to hand it to Tor or Bjarge or Mikkel, whoever wrote that error. They didn't. It's not the typical Unity error with no information. There's plenty of stuff there. I'm gonna see here if I can strip out a few things here. So let's. I'm gonna. All my dependencies. We're gonna unpack these things. All right, that one's cleaned up. It's gonna be player unit is on my buildings. Crud. Maybe I'll just try unpacking these and seeing if that helps some. I also have things on here that could activate with a mouse, and I really don't like a hover kind of a thing, and I don't need that happening. Resource protection. So let's move this stuff off here. Don't need colliders on it either. Let's see if we can get this build, and then I'm going to call it quits for the day, I think. Actually, I might do that ahead of time. I'd lost track of time here. yeah, Schwab. It sounds like Tor. It sounds like Tor. All right. Well, I think I'm gonna call it quits. I kind of lost track of time. It's not a perfect start scene, but it's something. It's something. It needs some more tweaks. There's something about it that's just not quite there for me. I don't know. I don't know what it needs. I definitely think getting the shuttles moving would really bring it home. I think that's absolutely true, and I don't think that's actually going to be that hard to do. I think I can make that happen. Lance, yeah, there's a lot of upcoming flash deals. I find it interesting that they advertise the flash deals happening before they happened. Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe that's good, maybe it's bad. Seems like as the person trying to sell something, you wouldn't necessarily want everybody to know that it's going to be on sale. Anyways, I am going to call it quits there. I do appreciate everyone who joins. There's another question. Anything under the hex tiles? I haven't got that far. I think something needs to go there. I think something needs to go under the hex tiles. My other scene, I have some particles, which actually that might be a great thing to bring in. That might help bring it home. I've got some particles that just kind of fill. That's a great idea. I might have to bring those in. But anyways, love that actually. One last thought. That might be what helps bring this home. Anyways, I will see you guys later. I am not going to. I won't be on for a couple weeks. I'll be off. No streams for the next 2 weeks. Gonna be in Vegas for a conference next week, and then lucky enough to the Odin guys are taking me to GDC in San Francisco the week after that. So that'll be pretty fun. But I've never been to GDC, so I'm pretty stoked, pretty excited about that one. Anyways, I'm going to call it quits for now. I will see you guys in a couple weeks.